Eastside was a church without a place, and Lighthouse was a church without a pastor. And so, we were meeting in homes. I think Neil and I are the only two here from Eastside. We were meeting in homes. We were meeting in my house. We were meeting in Brown's house. We were meeting in a Strickland funeral home, because that's where she came in, the search committee.
But then we had Lighthouse, and we had a place to meet. So we just thought it was a good idea to put the two churches together, which was absolutely a miracle, because you don't hear about that this day and time. The first night that we met together was awesome, I think. We just merged together, and it was just amazing. And it wasn't long before we started picking out names.
Oh yeah, we did have to.
I remember we had to put names in the pot to see
what we were going to be called. Yeah, I know that first service, nobody. I mean, it's like you would think that Eastside people would sit here or the Lighthouse people would sit there, but it was never like that ever.
Yeah, it never felt like two churches.
Never.
It never did.
Like it was meant to be.
It was.
The Lord was definitely in it, because you used to have that kind of unity and fellowship, and
Absolutely.
it was just an amazing time.
Man.
Those early years for sure. Just the love of Faith Baptist Church, and actually the love that's still here. And we're known for that. And that's one thing that's definitely carried on for 30 years.
Yeah.
We're like an extended family.
Yeah, we are. It's amazing.
And Wallace had them good old fried bologna sandwiches.
Well, Sunday nights I was just a teenager, but a lot of people come to our house on Sunday nights and always had fried bologna sandwiches, kind of like a tradition. And I just remember growing up we weren't just together at church. People were together all the time, going out to eat and getting together and just fellowshipping. They really enjoyed each other.
I know that charter service, I was kind of doing the register that day, and there was just over 100 people. I don't know what the exact count was, but like 102, 4, 5, something like that from that time. But you never were thinking back that the church would be what it is today, and that all the people that we've seen come to know the Lord here, and that we're reaching out across the world, and just the people just the fact that we've been a small part of seeing people's lives changed and people getting saved is just a real blessing for that. So,
my first Sunday was Father's Day 1994, and there's many of you that were there that day, our first day. And we started off maybe about 175 or 80 people, and through the years we've seen God do some pretty incredible things. We've built a big building that we're meeting in right now. We took the Children's Center and sort of redone it to make it the place that we meet now with children. We bought the cabinet shop on the corner, redid it, a little over 12,000 square feet. And then some other things. And today we're going to dedicate the new pavilion, another little touch. And you'll hear more about that later, but it's been a real joy to be here. And when you stay somewhere almost 25 years, that's how long we've been here, you get to see some pretty incredible things. We've seen many breakthroughs. We've seen God do some miraculous things above our expectations. We've gone through challenges and heartache and deep valleys and tough time. But through it all, God has been faithful to us and to His church. And we thank Him for that. This is all about Him. 30 years in one place.
My name is Jonathan Reiniger, and I came to this church because of these wonderful box of cookies. So what happened was I moved from El Paso, Texas to Knightdale, North Carolina. And as a father, I wanted to bring my kids to church. And I was really scared to come to church because I didn't think I was going to feel welcome. So what I did was I prayed. And I prayed for like a couple days, about 3 days. And then I got a knock at the door, and my wife answered the door. And there was a couple at the door that gave us these cookies, and they said, "Hey, why don't you come to our church? Here's a welcome gift." And we saw cookies inside. My kids were like, "Oh my gosh, cookies!" And then we opened the inside, and we saw like this welcome letter and like what you guys did at the church and stuff. So I took that as my calling. So I came on a Wednesday to this church, and I saw some people kind of like mingling, and church was very peaceful. And this guy came up to me, this very well-dressed guy came up to me, And I didn't know who it was, but he said, come here, are you new to this church? And I said, yeah. He's like, what do you want to do today? And I was like, I don't know. I want to do everything. And he's like, well, I don't know what you want to do, but let's go back here and take your kids back here. So I went back and I sat with Jake, and my kids were back there. And I listened to Jake, and Jake ratted me out, and he said, hey, you were dancing and you were doing all this stuff. And I told my wife how good of a time we had, and everybody was helpful and nice stuff. And I brought my wife. My wife is very skeptic because every time we come to a new church, everybody shuns you. You're the new person. No one wants to talk to you and everything. And it was you. You said, hey, after service, you guys can be dismissed. Come back there and talk to Mick. And that's how I found out that new person that said, hey, come on back here. It was Mick, was our pastor. And we went back there and he gave us our goodies and stuff. And Mom was like, this is legit. We need to start coming here. And yeah, we've came ever since, and we always felt welcome. And that's how we came, was these boxes.
What I would like to see change is like the growth of like schools or something, like growth of like learning.
In what way?
I would like to show like maybe like become someone who really works hard in it and really shows people what it's like and how you really should like focus and what to do with it. Definitely this church could grow. It would become a lot better. It's already great. It's fantastic. We're at the point where we should be, but there's always room for improvement.